Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to EduTap and welcome to the second lecture of live practice session. Just let me know my voice is clear and the screen is properly visible to you all. Is everything fine? Good morning, Kanika, Vaishnavi. Okay, thank you so much, Kanika. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. So, I hope everything is perfect, right? Okay, thank you, Ritesh. Chalo. So, today we will be covering your lecture number 2, and in this lecture we will be covering your two chapters. They are farming system and cropping system. Okay, so we will be covering your farming system and cropping pattern chapter today here in this lecture. So I think voice is fine, right? Just let me know if voice is clear to you all. And good morning, Pallu. Pallu, everything's fine. Thank you so much. So with this, let's start our today's session. And see, students, yesterday we have covered Introduction to Agriculture and Agronomy and Field Crop chapter. In this session, we will continue and we will cover Farming System and Cropping Pattern chapter. But before starting this session, there was a query of yesterday's session that someone was asking, ma'am, what are the important chapters? Okay, so I haven't added any slide today, but I will be telling you what are the important chapters. Okay. Yes, Praveen, I'm fine today. I'm better today. I'm feeling better today. Thank you so much. So, uh, I'll, I'll be telling you the important chapters. Okay, if you wanted to note down, so note down, and I hope with this that query will get resolved. Okay, so the first chapter is first chapter is agronomy. Okay, next chapter is farming system. Okay, then we have soil and water conservation. Then we have plantation and horticulture crop. Then your animal husbandry. Okay, then we have forestry. Then the seventh one, which we say is fisheries, because one question is asked from fisheries. Now, apart from these chapter, you will have to also focus on seed and sowing, because good number of question was seen last year from this chapter. Seed and sowing and agriculture extension, because one descriptive question was asked from this chapter, right? So apart from these, you have to focus on seed and sowing and agriculture extension. These two are other important chapters apart from these 7 chapters. Okay, I hope now this query, this doubt is clear, right? Okay. Dhruv and Vihar, see, for coming up with MCQs, the thing that is here, I have to cover all the chapters, okay? And if I come up with the MCQs, it might be like for some people, it is not the holistic coverage of entire chapter. It might be like we are touching few topics only and leaving the rest. So some may feel like we have to cover entire ARD. Okay, it is a good thing that you guys have already prepared these chapters and you are coming here for the revision, and you are expecting me to bring up the questions, but just understand this thing. Right now it's not possible for me to cover questions as well as the theory holistically, because few might have just purchased this course and they want some comprehensive coverage, right? So it's not possible for me to come up with the MCQs as well as the as well as the explanation part. So what I'll do is, in between, I'll be telling you these are the important topics, because questions, I have seen the questions and I'll be telling you what from which topic question has been asked in the previous year. Okay. Okay, so the doubt is clear. Thank you so much for letting me know, and now we'll start the session. Okay, if there's any doubt regarding anything in between the session, you can ask. Rest I'll take query at the last. So first we'll cover the farming system chapter. Okay, we will cover the farming system chapter. Vihar, see, if we will have a marathon session, there I'll come up with the MCQs. There you can attend the marathon session. There you will get a good number of MCQs to practice. ठीक है? On YouTube. Chalo. Let's move ahead and let's understand the meaning of farming system. Okay, so now students, yesterday only we discussed that agriculture not only comprises of crop production, but it is also about the livestock. It is also it is also about the fisheries. It is also about the poultry. It is also about the forestry, and so many things we are doing under agriculture. Okay, now there is a term farming system which is given when a farmer, what it do, it combine all these enterprises. Okay, consider all these as a small enterprises. Okay, consider all these as a small enterprises. Like we have a farm, you can see on the picture here, it is a complete farm. Okay, so we have a field which we have dedicated for the crop production. Then we have a area where we have grown the horticulture crops, right? Then we have a shed for the livestock rearing. Okay, for example, here the farmer is rearing cows and buffalo. Then there is another shed for poultry. Then there is another area dedicated for forestry crop. Now these are small enterprises, and when these all small enterprises are mixed together, are run together to maximize the profitability, that is known as farming system. Okay, I'll repeat. When we appropriately mix all the different agriculture enterprises to maximize our profitability, that is the farming system. That is the meaning of farming system. So the definition says it is appropriate mix of farm enterprises. I have told you we have different farm enterprises. Okay, poultry can be considered one farm enterprise. Then your horticulture crops can be considered as one farm enterprise. Crop production can be another. Livestock rearing can be another. Fisheries, if the farmer is doing aquaculture also, that is also another farm enterprise. And if a farmer is able to integrate and mix all these farm enterprise to raise the profitability, now this is known as farming system. Okay, in farming system, it is always encouraged that farmer, it uses all kind of resources that are present on a farm so that it can increase the profitability. Okay, so that is the meaning of farming system. Now when we see a structure of a farming system, so in farming system, what are the things that is required? Okay, first, for any farming system to start with anything, okay, we need input, right? We need input. Now in a farm, what all input you can think of? A farmer need labor, obviously. Okay, to for the different practices to go on the field, we require labor, right? Then we require capital. Obviously, if I wanted to grow any kind of crop, I need to buy some seed, I need to buy some fertilizer, I need to buy some chemicals, I need to buy some pesticides, I might need to buy some kind of improved varieties. Okay, so for that I need capital, I need money. So this is also one other input that is required by farmer, right? Now next we need is seeds. Seeds are very important resource, because ultimately your end production is dependent on the type of seed that you are using. Okay, so it is also a very crucial input that is required by farmer. So next we have is seeds. Then we have animals. The animals that farmer is rearing, which breed the farmer is rearing, that is also very important, because if farmer have a good breed, it can expect that it will get good result, it will get good yield. So, and the breeds of animal that the farmer is rearing is also a very crucial input. Then fertilizer, pesticides, and everything. So these are all several inputs that is required by a farmer. Now these inputs cannot be directly converted to output. Okay, you cannot expect a seed to have a seed and the seed will ultimately grow and germinate, give you the food grain. Okay, it is not going to happen. You need to sow this seed, you need to plow the land, you need to do irrigation, you need to do the spraying of pesticides and insecticide, you need to give the manures, you need to give the fertilizer. Then after reaching the maturity, when the crop has grown, you need to harvest the crop. Okay, and then you need to separate the grains out of the entire straw or the crop, and then you get the output, that is your food grains, right? Now what are these things? These are the processes under which we have put our input, right? So what we do, what a farmer do for any process or for any thing to happen, what we need, input is required. Then we keep this input under some kind of process, and then we get the output. Now output here under the farm enterprise or the farming system, what we get is, it can be in terms of food grains, it can be in the terms of milk, vegetable, crop waste. Okay, this crop waste is also one of the output, because crop waste can be again used as a manure, it can be sold as a manure. Okay, and also after this, after selling the food grain, milk, or the produce that we have got, the farmer earn the benefit or the money, right? Now one more thing that you have to understand, that whatever process that has happened, or based on the output a farmer received from one cycle, farmer gains some kind of knowledge. Okay, farmer might analyze thing and see what went wrong or what went well, and how this techniques can be modified in a better way, so that I can I can increase more output, I can increase more output. So that's become a knowledge part. So once one cycle is complete, farmer gains some knowledge, again apply that knowledge, and this cycle go on, and this is how a farming system work. Okay, this is how a farm work basically. Okay, see Parag, if a farmer is just rearing livestock, okay, livestock, if the farmer is just rearing livestock, so farmer need livestock. So if I am a farmer and I want to open up a dairy, so my basic input will be the cattle, and I need to purchase these cattle, right? So input is basically something which you need, okay, which you buy. So I need to buy some cattle, so I will have some cattle, I'll buy some cattle, and then only I can expect I will feed the cattle, and then I can expect the milk or the produce from these cattle. Okay, yes, machineries are also input, machineries are also part of the input. You need machinery for generating any kind of output. Okay, now let's discuss about the classification of farming system. Now, farming system has been classified into three groups. First, we have is a traditional farming system. Okay, then we have commercial system, and then we have semi-commercial system. Now, from the name itself, it is very clear that traditional farming system means where we are using traditional technology, where we are using traditional knowledge, where we are using traditional methods of growing crops or rearing livestock. Okay, name itself is suggesting it is a traditional form of farming system. Okay, when we are using all kind of traditional methods, techniques, and technology for growing crop or rearing livestock, that is traditional farming system. I hope this is clear, right? Now, under traditional farming system, there are different types of farming system, and we will be studying them one by one in coming slide, because they are important. Question has been asked from here. Okay, so first type of traditional farming system is subsistence farming system. Okay, subsistence farming system. Then we have shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. For now, just know the name of these traditional farming system, types of traditional farming system. I will be explaining them one by one in coming slide. Okay? Now let's see the semi-commercial farming system. Now students, see, before semi-commercial, I would like to tell you about the commercial farming system, because semi-commercial is in between the traditional and commercial. Okay? So what is commercial farming system? Basically, here we are using all advanced techniques and technology. Okay, it says commercial. We have to commercially grow the crops, we have to commercially rear the livestock. So for commercial production, we need to adopt advanced technology, we need to adopt advanced technique, we need to gain advanced knowledge, and then apply these techniques and technology for maximization of production, for maximization of output, so that we can maximize our benefit, right? So that type of system where we are using all kind of advanced techniques and technology, they are commercial system. Okay, you use all kind of advanced machinery, you use all kind of advanced pesticides, insecticide here, high yielding varieties, genetically modified varieties, all kind of things are used in commercial farming system. Okay. Now, then we have a semi-commercial farming system, and under semi-commercial farming system, you can understand that it is in between traditional and commercial farming system. Okay, neither we are going for only traditional methods, nor we are going for only the commercial method. We are adopting in between. We are adopting the techniques and technology in between of traditional and commercial. That makes your semi commercial system. Okay, because see, commercial system has its own drawbacks, traditional system has its own drawbacks, so we don't want to go for either way, so we adopted a in between situation, that is a semi commercial system. Clear? I hope this is clear to you all. Now let's understand under semi-commercial what all we study. Okay? So under semi-commercial, we can have a cropping system and a mixed system. Okay. What is, semi-commercial is basically in between traditional and commercial. So here what we do, we use some kind of system. Okay, we adopt some kind of system that is in between commercial and traditional. Okay, so first we have is a cropping system. What does the cropping system means? We are adopting a particular type of cropping system. Okay, see, traditionally there was no particular type of cropping system. Traditionally the farmers, what they feel, okay, this could be better for their field, or this could get you the better yield, they just go for one crop, or they just change crop season by season. But under semi commercial, under cropping system, we are integrating, we are using a particular set of pattern for growing crop. Okay, like we have rice based cropping system. Now rice based cropping system means here our main crop is rice. Okay, then we have root based cropping system where our main crop are the root crops. Okay, then we have grain legume based. Basically here our main crop are the grain legume crops. Rest we are we are rotating these crops with other crops, or we are growing other crops in between these crops. Okay, so yes, so that is the cropping system that is followed, and it comes under semi commercial system. Next we have is a mixed system. Now mixed system is basically here, see, in cropping system we were integrating all different kind of crops, but in mixed system not only crops, we are also integrating livestock along with the crop production. We are integrating forestry along with the crop production. Okay, example of mixed systems are your agri-silviculture, where agriculture and forest crops are grown together. Then silvopastorial culture, where forest crop and pastures are managed together. And agri-silvopastoral is basically where we are managing agriculture crop, forest crop, and pasture together. So this is a mixed system. Okay, this is also part of semi-commercial system. Okay, I'll be explaining them in detail in coming slide. So just for now, have that idea what is the meaning of all these. Clear? So we have discussed about two types of semi-commercial system. What is cropping system, where crops are mixed, and then mixed system where along with the crops we are going for forestry and pasture and the livestock also. Okay. Then we have commercial system. Now commercial system is basically done on a very large land mass. Okay, if you want to commercially grow anything, if you want to sell anything, you wanted to have more produce. For having more produce, you need more area. So commercial system is done on a very large scale. So here we we go for growing either perennial crops, or we use livestock. Okay, because livestock can be reared on a very large area, and again we can get maximum produce out of the livestock. So perennial crops we can go for growing of plantation crop, just like yesterday we have discussed your coconut, coffee, tea, the rubber, these are the plantation crop. So once you have established a plantation, you don't need to replant it year by year. Once you have established it, you have to just manage it, and yearly you have to extract the output. Okay, then we have agroforestry, where we are managing agriculture and forestry together. So again, forestry crops are perennial crops, and they can be used for the commercial system, means they can be grown on a very large scale. And then we have livestock. Again, in livestock, ranching is a term used where we are rearing livestock on a very large land mass. Clear? So these are the different types of commercial system that are used. Okay. Okay, Meghna is asking difference between agri-silviculture and agroforestry. See, silviculture is you can say a part of forestry. Okay, when you will study about forestry, you will understand in forestry we study about everything, but silviculture is all about the establishment of forest, or the management of the specific forest. Okay, so agri-silviculture and agri-forestry is same, but agri-silviculture have a different aspect than the forestry. Forestry include everything. Forestry include all kind of tree. And silviculture, in silviculture few aspects are studied. Okay, this will be more clear to you when you will read the forestry chapter. Okay, so there is no much difference, but yes, you have to first understand the difference between silviculture and the forestry, then you will be clear about it. Chalo, I hope this is clear, this slide is clear to you all. Now I'll move ahead and okay, now let's understand one by one all the traditional farming system. First, I have told you about the subsistence farming. Now, as the name suggests, subsistence means here the farmer is doing farming, or the farmer is growing crop just for the subsistence purpose, just for meeting out the family requirement. Clear? So name suggests subsistence farming matlab we have to just farmer is growing crop enough to just meet the demand of his family. So that is the subsistence farming system. I hope this is clear, right? Now in subsistence farming system, why this is traditional farming? Because usually this subsistence farming is followed where the farmer do not have enough land. Obviously, if a farmer will have a good amount of land, hectares of land, he will obviously go for the commercial farming system, but he have to go for subsistence farming system because of the limitation of land. And in India, you will see in the hilly areas majorly subsistence farming is followed because we do not have enough land holding, as well as there we are using traditional method. Okay, see, in if we have a less land, farmer cannot go on go for the advanced machine over these land, because if it will go, the cost of production will increase. Obviously farmer have to rely on the subsistence method or the traditional method, right? So you can see in the picture also plow is used. Okay, so this is the subsistence farming system where farmer is using traditional method. This wooden plow were used traditionally. So that is why subsistence farming system is a part of your traditional farming system. Okay. See, Parag, subsistence, basically the subsistence farming system itself mean that the farmer is growing crop only for the family requirement. Okay, uh, there might be chances if there is a surplus, but usually there is no surplus because we have limitation of land. Okay, farmer, when see, consider this category where the farmer are growing crop just for the family, these farmers or these cropping farming system followed is called as subsistence farming system. Clear? See, if they have a surplus, they can go sell it, but usually it is not there because they do not have surplus. Okay, that's why this category has been made. Chalo. Next we have is nomadic herding. Now, students, apart from growing crop, you might have seen some people, they travel from places to place and they carry their herd, they carry livestock from these places to places in the search of fresh grass or the fresh pasture. Okay, so this type of rearing of farmers, rearing of livestock is known as nomadic herding. Okay, so there are few tribes, there are few people involved in some kind of this kind of farming system, also this kind of rearing. So here what these tribes do, they carry, they move from place to place along with their livestock, along with their herd, and they move to a place. They see, okay, this place have a grass, they have, this place can provide them a good amount of grass for good number of days. They settle there for some time and then they move towards the next place. Okay, so they do not have any fixed settlement, they do not have any fixed residence, they move from places to place in search of pasture along with their livestock. Okay, so this type of system is known as nomadic herding. This type of farming system is nomadic herding, where the tribe or the farmer along with their herd is moving from one place to another place in search of green pasture. Okay, next we have is shifting cultivation. Now students, shifting cultivation is now not followed because it is not beneficial for the environment. But earlier in the northeastern region of our country, shifting cultivation was followed. Now shifting cultivation, what we do, see, in nomadic herding we were taking livestock from one place to another place. In shifting cultivation, what farmer do, farmer go to a place, they, they cut down all the vegetation over that place. They burn all the vegetation to in order to clear the land, and then they cultivate any crop. Okay, like for say they cultivate rice over that piece of land, and for 2 to 3 years, or for a good number of years, they cultivate this land, and the crop is fixed. The crop is fixed in the shifting cultivation. Like if they are growing rice, so they grow rice only year after year, and with time what happened, the fertility of this particular land get degraded. Okay, we have learned about yesterday about exhaustive and restorative crop. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the difference between exhaustive and restorative crop? Just for your revision purpose, I'm asking this. Can anyone tell me? Okay. No, Parag. In nomadic herding, crops are not grown. Okay. ठीक है. Very good. Very good. I can see that you guys have revised it. Very good. So exhaustive crops are those which take nutrient from the soil, and restorative crops are those which bring back nutrient to the soil, right? Now, rice is a exhaustive crop. Okay. Very good. Every one of you have revised. That's very good to see. And also, I would like to mention you that I have already uploaded the PDF of this particular lecture. Okay. If you wanted to make notes, just you can have that. You can download it and have that. Yesterday, there was a request for the PDF, so I have already uploaded it. So you can just download it and simultaneously make notes over that PDF. Okay. Very good. Very good. Chalo. Now, here we'll understand the shifting cultivation. So, okay. Shifting cultivation, as I was telling you, that farmers, they go to a piece of land, they cut all vegetation, they burn all vegetation, clear the land, and then they grow one crop. ठीक है. अब like if they go for the rice is an exhaustive crop. Now year after year, if they go for sowing the rice, what will happen with the time? The fertility of soil will degrade, right? Now when fertility of soil will degrade, what will happen? The land will become unfertile. So what these people do? These people leave that land and move to the another place, and then again do the same with the other place, and let them let that piece of land to restore. Okay, so this type of cultivation is known as shifting cultivation. Now students, here you have to understand 2-3 terms. This is also known as slash and burn agriculture, because here we are cutting down all the vegetation and burning all the vegetation in order to clear the land, right? And it is also known as zoom cultivation. Okay, it is that we can say it is the common name that is given in the northeastern part of the country to this type of cultivation. So just remember the alternative names of shifting cultivation: slash and burn and zoom cultivation. Okay, and because this has been asked, the names of shifting cultivation has been asked. And remember one thing, that here crop is fixed, land is rotated. ठीक है. So these are few important things with regards to shifting cultivation that you have to learn. ठीक है. So I hope subsistence farming system, nomadic herding, and shifting cultivation, all these are also clear to you. ठीक है. You can expect one question from these because it has been asked previously also. So just remember these concepts. Okay, concepts will be asked to you. So you can see it in the picture here. The vegetation has been burned down in order to clear the land, right? So that is why it is called slash and burn agriculture. Now let's move on to the semi-commercial farming system. Now what is the meaning of semi-commercial farming system? As I've told you that we are not totally adopting traditional method, neither we are adopting commercial method. Okay, Richa has raised the hand. Yes, Richa, you wanted to say something? Hello, Richa.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Richa.
Ma'am, you have said that land is rotated. तो जो जो ये फार्मर्स होते हैं वो दूसरे लैंड पे जाकर के कोई दूसरी क्रॉप को नहीं ग्रो करते हैं.
No. The crop is fixed. Usually the crop is fixed. They grow same. See, the requirement of same crop is always there, right? If they are dependent on rice, usually, so they will grow rice only.
And ma'am, it has written that they also grow maize, millets, and
Yeah,
vegetables.
they can grow other crops, but usually they grow same kind of crop. Like if they have grown rice on a one piece of land, they will grow rice on the other piece of land as well.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, there is one word in nomadic herding,
Hmm.
transhumans. Ma'am, what is the meaning of that word?
Sorry, what's the word? Trans?
Transhumans.
Okay, so Richa, I this is basically for those tribes which do not have any fixed residence.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I hope your doubts are clear, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, Richa. Okay, so we'll continue. So okay, sorry, I'll take doubts at the end. Okay, so guys, everyone, please you note down your doubts somewhere, and I'll take your doubts at the end because the class can go, class can extend by, for, if I take doubt in between. So, chalo. Uh, ठीक है, let's come back to the topic. So I've told about the semi-commercial farming system. So here what we are doing, we are not totally adopting traditional methods, neither we are going totally for the commercial method. So we are in between the in between the traditional farming system and commercial farming system. So here first we have to understand the cropping system. Okay, first we have to understand the cropping system. So cropping system is what basically where we are growing more than one or two crops in a fixed pattern. Okay, so as we have seen in the traditional, they might grow one crop only. Okay, and there it has its own impact that soil fertility will degrade. But if we go for a crop rotation where we are growing not only one crop but we are growing another crop after one crop, so this makes a cropping system, this forms a system. Like in India, rice wheat cropping system is prevalent. Okay, this can be one question that can be asked to you. So which kind of cropping system is famous in India? So it is rice wheat cropping system. So you might have seen that in kharif season we grow rice, and in rabi season we go for growing wheat. So this is a cropping system that has been made, right? Similarly, we can go for rice pulse wheat system where we are growing rice, and then in between we are taking one pulse crop, and then we are growing the wheat. Okay, then again a different kind of cropping system can be followed where the availability of water is there, or where only the stagnant water condition is there. So there people also grow for rice cropping system, means they are taking 2 to 3 crops of rice in a year. So every type of cropping system is followed. So cropping system is basically where we are growing more than two crops in a fixed pattern, in a fixed way. Okay, so that is a cropping system. Then we have a mixed system. In mixed system, what we are doing, we are not only concerned with the crops, but also we are integrating livestock rearing along with the crops, growing of crop. Okay, we are growing crops as well as along with that we are rearing livestock. We can also have agroforestry crop, sorry, forestry crop. Okay, so mixed, it make a mixed system. Here we have 2 3 enterprises in which we have integrated it and made a mixed system, and made a mixed system. In cropping system we have 2 3 crops, we have integrated it, we have made a pattern and made a cropping system. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then we have a commercial farming system, right? Now commercial, okay, commercial farming system. So guys, I'll take the query at the last. Okay, if anyone have asked any doubt, so you please wait. Okay, so here commercial farming system is basically, commercial farming system is basically where we are only following the commercial method, or we are only following the advanced technology. We are only following the not only we, I would say, but we are mostly relied on the machines, heavy machines, or we are mostly relied on the chemicals, we are mostly relied on the advanced methods of agriculture. Okay, now under commercial farming system we have one term, ranching. Now students, ranching can be asked to you in exam. Ranching is basically when we are rearing livestock on a very large piece of land. You can see in the picture also, and you might have seen this in the movies as well, that a cowboy have a huge land mass, and there he has a lot of livestock which he rear, right? So this is a called as rearing. ranching. Okay. Then we have a agroforestry. Agroforestry is also done in the large land area where we can manage forest crop as well as agriculture crop together. So you can see in the picture here in the bottom part we have grown the crops. We have grown some agriculture crop. It might be any pulses or it might be any crop, and along with that we have a forestry crop, and which can be poplar. Poplar is one of the forest crop, right? So you can see in the picture that forest crop and agriculture crops, they both are growing together. Okay, and it's not easy to manage all these crop through traditional way or the semi traditional way. So we need some advanced technology, advanced techniques to manage such kind of land. So this that is why agroforestry comes under the example of your commercial farming system. Okay, so these are basically examples of commercial farming system. Next we will understand the different types of farming system in India. Okay, so what are the different types of farming system that we are following in India? Basically, first, subsistence farming system. I have told you in India, majority of farmers do not have enough land. Okay, and they have a small land holding, especially farmers of the hilly areas. So they are doing subsistence farming system. They are growing the crop just to meet the family requirement. Okay, I hope subsistence farming system is clear. Then we have conventional farming system. Now, what is the meaning of conventional farming system? Again, conventional means where we are using all kind of conventional method. Okay, we are doing tillage operation. Yesterday also we discussed about conventional tillage system. Okay, so in conventional what we do everything as it is said to us, right? We go for primary tillage operation, we go for secondary tillage operation, we go for spraying of pesticide, we go for spraying of herbicide, and we do not keep that fact in mind that it can harm environment. Okay, we are not concerned about environment in conventional farming system. So here it can have multiple impacts on environment, it can have multiple impacts on soil. So but the farmers they are only concerned about the output, they are not concerned about the environment. So that type of farming system, when the farmer is only concerned about the produce or the end result, not about the environment, that is called as conventional farming system. Okay, now conventional farming system, uh, yes, Aniket. So, conventional farming system. In conventional farming system, we as I have discussed with you, there are a lot of impact on environment, impact on soil. So, what we do, we go for alternative farming system. Okay. Uh, so we go for alternative farming system. Okay, so what is the alternative farming system? Basically it is an alternative form of farming system where we are concerned about environment. Okay, we are concerned that we have to do agriculture in such a way that we are not only just producing the crop for ourselves, but also we are not harming the environment. So alternative farming system was introduced, and under alternative farming system we will discuss organic farming, agroecological farming, biodynamic farming, biointensive permaculture, and natural farming. So these are the different alternative farming system that was introduced by different scientists. Okay, देखो, when we see the harmful impact of conventional farming system, earlier the requirement was, see, earlier the country was starving. Okay, so our requirement was to just increase the food production. So the government or the scientists, they just focused on the technology to increase the production. But later on, when the production was sufficient and we were able to fulfill our demand, later on we realized that while using this high yielding variety, while using these chemicals, that is pesticides, insecticide, we are creating danger for ourselves only, because in future it is going to hamper the soil health, it is going to hamper the environment health, ultimately it is going to come back to us. Okay, so then the farmers, then the scientists and the government, they come up with that, now okay, we have to move something toward alternative farming system where we are concerned about environment, where we have to be in harmony with environment, so that environment is protected for the future, as well as also we are meeting our food grain demand. Okay, so that's why these alternative farming systems were introduced. Under this, organic farming system is quite prevalent and quite famous one, which you all might have heard, and government is also trying to promote organic farming system among farmers. Okay, then we have a specialized farming system and integrated farming system. Now what happens in specialized and integrated farming system, that I'll discuss with you in the coming slide. Okay, now one by one let's understand the farming systems, types of farming system that we adopt in India. Subsistence farming system is clear to you. I hope that is clear, right? Now let's come to the conventional farming system. I've told you here already that in conventional farming system, we are using all kind of advanced techniques and technology. Okay, you can see in the picture also that farmer is spraying the pesticides through the field. Now this pesticides might may protect the crop for that particular period of time, and it may kill the harmful insect, but it can have harmful impact on the people living around that place. It can have a harmful impact on other insect and other microflora and fauna that is present in the soil, right? So here the impact on environment is more. Means in conventional farming system we are not concerned about environment. Okay, we are only concerned about our the produce and our benefit. Okay, here in conventional farming system you have to understand one thing: we are using genetically modified organism. Okay, so what are the genetically modified organism? Can anyone tell me meaning of genetically modified organism? Okay, ठीक है, very good. uh, I can see Ankan, Kahana, and Aniket. They have given the right answer. They have given the answer basically. Nikita, okay, very good. देखो, genetically modified organism. From name itself, you have to make it out that we have modified the genetics of any organism. ठीक है, very good, Vihar, Om. That means you know the meaning of this genetically modified organism thing, right? Very good, Shivani, Vidisha. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छे, you guys know. ठीक है, so BT cotton is one of the example of genetically modified organism. ठीक है, now these genetically modified important for your exam. See, just remember this: BT cotton is an example of genetically modified organism. And why we have modified the genetics of this cotton? Reason being कि earlier cotton was infested with pink bollworm. Pink bollworm was a insect that reduces the yield of cotton very much. So we need to protect this cotton from against pink bollworm. So what scientists do? Scientists took out the gene from a bacteria. Okay, a bacterial gene, that is, the name of bacteria is Bacillus thuringiensis. ठीक है, the name of bacteria is Bacillus thuringiensis. So from this bacteria a gene was extracted out and it was integrated to cotton. Okay, and now this cotton become BT cotton, and this BT cotton become resistant to pink bollworm. Now no more damage was seen on BT cotton due to this pink bollworm. Okay, so now this BT cotton is genetically modified organism. ठीक है, so I hope this is clear to you what is the meaning of genetically modified organism and why we are using them. ठीक है, so in conventional farming we use genetically modified organism as well. We use high yielding varieties, we use chemicals and pesticides, and it can have harmful impact on the environment. ठीक है, I hope conventional farming is clear with that. Now next, let's see the alternative farming system. So first is very important, that is organic farming system. Okay, now organic farming system, in the name itself it says organically we have to grow crops. Okay, organically we have to do farming. Now what is the meaning of organically? So basically we are not using any kind of chemicals here. We are totally relying on the organic source of nutrient. Okay, so that's the meaning here. Basically our aim is to cultivate land or raise crop, keeping the soil alive. Here, see, soil is a very important resource for agriculture, because if soil will not be in good condition, we cannot expect good production. We cannot even expect good fodder quality for the livestock. So we need to keep the soil alive. Okay, and in organic farming our main focus is to keep the soil alive, to keep the health of the soil in a good condition. So for that we do not go for chemical fertilizer, chemical based nutrient. We do not go for chemicals, rather we go for alternative natural form. Okay, See, if we do not have these chemical nutrients or chemical fertilizer, it's not like that nature have not provided us the alternative form. We have the natural form of fertilizer, that are our manure, that are cow dung, that are the compost that we have. Okay, if we add all these into our field, that will also work as a same as a fertilizer. So in organic farming, what we do not use any kind of chemical. Rather, we go for the natural sources. Rather, we go for the natural alternative of the other these chemical fertilizer or pesticides. Clear? So that is the organic farming, where we are not using any kind of chemical. Next we have is a Next we have is a agroecological farming. Okay, now from name you have to understand it's agroecological means we have to do agriculture along with the ecological system that surrounds it. Okay, so what the ecological interactions, the interaction that is there present between plant, animal and humans and environments, along with that we have to integrate our agriculture practices. Okay, see, why this thing has to come up. See, you might think that in agriculture what we do, we grow plants, and that's very normal, but it's not normal. If you will not see naturally on a piece of land, same type of plant is grown on a very large area. Okay, so that's not normal. Doing agriculture is not normal. We are against the nature itself, but we have to try that we are doing this activity, we are growing plants, but that is incorporated along with the ecology, along with the environment that surrounds it. ठीक है? So in agroecological farming, our aim is to combine all the local and scientific knowledge, so that along with the environment we can grow crops, and it do not have negative impact on environment. Everything goes as it goes, and along with that we integrate a system where we are growing the crop. Okay, so I hope this is also clear to you. Agroecological means doing agriculture along with the ecological interactions. These ecological interactions should be there, present there. We should not interrupt that, and along with that we should grow agriculture, we should go for agriculture, and we should grow crops, right? That's the meaning of agroecological farming. Now, there are two more terms, biodynamic farming and biointensive farming. Okay, first let us understand biodynamic farming. Now, biodynamic farming is a philosophical theory, you can say. It is a theory. Okay, it is not so much prevalent or not so much accepted, but yes, there was a scientist, Rudolf Steiner. He come up with this theory, or he come up with the philosophy that we have to integrate our agriculture practices in such a way that it align with the stars. Okay, we can say this is a philosophical way of saying that if the stars are aligned in a particular way, and then we add a few things to our agriculture land, then that will have more impact. Okay, again, this is a philosophy, or you can say this is just a philosophy, and according to him this will work, and this will not create much hamper to the, and it will not create much damage to the environment. Okay, so here this just know what is the biodynamic farming. Basically it emphasizes on spiritual and mystical perspective. Okay, so according to the scientist, if we do agriculture activities as per the alignment of the star in the stars, then that will have more we will have more output, and it will cause less impact to the environment. Okay, next we have is biointensive. Now, what is the meaning of biointensive? Basically here again we have to grow crops, but here we have to focus more on nutrient recycling and integrated pest management. Okay, now see, you might have heard about nutrient cycles that happens in nature, that is carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, right? So these are the natural way of recycling the nutrient. So similarly, in biointensive farming, we say that we have to focus on nutrient recycling. Means if we are extracting something from the soil, if we are growing crop and crop are extracting nutrient from the soil, so we need to recycle it. It's our duty that we should recycle the nutrient back to the soil. That can be again from the green manures, it can be from the cow dung, it can be from the animal manure, it can be from the compost, but we have to recycle the nutrient back to the soil, as well as we have to focus on integrated pest management. Okay, it should not be like that. If there is a pest in the in the field, and it cause a little bit damage, and we go for spraying insecticide or any kind of chemical to the entire field. Okay, that is not of any use, because again that can cause damage to other pests also, okay, which are useful for the field. So integrated pest management should be done, means like, for say, if we want to manage pest in our field, what we can do, we can go for summer plowing. What summer plowing is basically, before sowing crop, we expose the land into hot summer. Okay, we go for tillage operation, and with that tillage operation, all eggs and larvae of these insects, they get exposed to the sun, and that they get killed up. Okay, so this is a pest management technique. Again, you can go for crop rotation as well. If you find that there is some disease or pest happening in particular crop, like for say rice, and you again go for rice, then what can happen, again this disease or pest can have their inoculum in the field, and that can again impact the coming crop. So what we do crop rotation. We break the cycle of this, and we rotate the crop, rice crop, with any pulse crop or the wheat crop. Okay, so these are the integrated. There are so many management techniques that can be adopted for integrated pest management. Clear? So that is the biointensive, in which we are focused on nutrient recycling and integrated pest management. I hope this is also clear, right? Chalo. Next we have is a natural farming and permaculture. So students, natural farming is basically a system in which we just go grow the crops, and we do not interrupt, or we do not add anything to the nature or anything to the soil. Okay, we just sow the crop as it is, and whatever is the production, we take it as it is. Means, in organic farming, we go for adding organic manure, we go for adding the compost, we go for adding the biopesticides. Biofertilizers are used in the organic farming. What are the biopesticides and fertilizer, I'll be explaining in the coming slide. But things are added in the organic farming, right? But in natural farming, we do not add anything. Okay, we let weeds also grow. In organic farming, we pluck out the weed, but I agree that productivity will be less, but that is the natural farming. That is the concept of natural farming, that naturally whatever nature is providing us, we have to accept it. Clear? So that's the okay. So that is the natural farming. Next we have is the permaculture. Now what is the permaculture? Basically, it is also a concept where we have to create a permanent system. You can consider we have to create a sustainable system. So you can see here in this picture, there is a land reservoir. Okay, there is a water reservoir. Then we have a field, we have everything. So the community is in very harmony. Okay, so we are not exhausting the complete water reservoir, we are not exhausting complete nutrient from the soil. We have to create a sustainable system that is not only fulfilling our demand, but also the future demand. Okay, so basically permaculture is a creation of a permanent type of culture that is fulfilling our demand, as well as that is keeping the resources for the future generation. Okay, so that is the permaculture. I hope all these alternative farming systems are clear to you. Okay, now let's move on to the next, that is specialized farming system. Meaning of specialized farming system, as the name itself, it says specialized. Now you might have seen that few farmers, they grow only one particular type of crop. Okay, so some farmer grow only sugarcane, some grow only cotton, some grow only jute. So these farmers have become specialized in growing these crop. Okay, and in when a particular farm utilizes more than 50% of its resources for one particular crop, and other 50% is used for another kind of crops or other kind of resources, then that is called a specialized farming system. Okay, if a farmer have a land, and more than 50% of land he is using for sugarcane production, and rest he is using for rice, wheat, or other crops, then this type of farming system will be considered as specialized farming system. Okay, now in a specialized farming system, the benefit is that the farmer will have the all the knowledge regarding that particular crop. Then farmer will have all the tools and techniques, and the farmer can have the machinery regarding one particular crop. Otherwise, for each crop we have to change the machine, we have to change everything. Right? So here the farmer become specialized with one type of crop. So that is the meaning of specialized farming system. It had its own drawback as well, but yes, the meaning should be clear to you that specialized farming system means where the farmer become specialized or where become farmer become expert in growing one of the particular crop. ठीक है? Okay, so I'll take the query at last. Okay, so just let me finish this chapter, and after this chapter, I'll take the query from this chapter. ठीक है? Next we have is integrated farming system. Okay, now students, in integrated farming system also, what we do, we integrate all these farm enterprises. ठीक है? We are discussing about farming system, but in integrated farming system we integrate these enterprises, and our aim is to not just maximize our output, but also use the resources optimistically, as well as to to less impact the environment. ठीक है? What is integrated farming system? It is interdependent, interrelated, interlocking production system based on few crops, animal and related subsidiary enterprises. So all the enterprises that we have, we create a system out of it, so that resources from one enterprises can be used on another, and we can maximize the output, and also we can create less impact to the environment. Okay, so that is the integrated farming system. So that is the meaning of integrated farming system. Now, you will say, ma'am, mixed system and integrated farming system may sound similar. Okay, so in mixed system, say we are mixing the different enterprises, but there our main aim is to maximize the profit. We are not concerned about the environment. But in integrated farming system, our main aim is to is to minimize the negative effect on the environment, as well as to best utilize all our resources. Okay, so if a farmer has 2-3 enterprises, so farmer can use a resource of one enterprises to other enterprise. ठीक है? I'll tell you the example. I'll give you few example. So here you can see, first we have is agriculture livestock integrated farming system model. Now what this system model is basically, here we have integrated livestock and crop production. Okay, livestock and crop production together. So what happens usually when we have a livestock, this livestock will generate some kind of manure. Livestock will generate some kind of waste, right? And that waste can be used as a manure in our and can be added to the soil, where our agriculture crop can take nutrient from this manure, right? So you can see waste product of one enterprise become resource for other enterprise, right? Now when these crops are harvested, first of all, see, this land can be used for crop production as well as fodder production. Fodder will go to the livestock. Okay, then when crop get harvested, all your straw and everything waste product, they again go for the feeding of livestock. So you can see again, waste product of crop production, or the waste product of crop field become resource for the livestock enterprise, right? So you can see these are interrelated and interdependent. Now we have created a system where waste from one is becoming resource for other, as well as they are interrelated to each other, interdependent on each other. And also, as the farmer get the extra supply of manure, the farmer has inbuilt supply of manure, so farmer will have to less rely on the chemical manures, right? Chemical fertilizers, for example. ठीक है? So that is the meaning of integrated farming system, where we have to integrate the enterprise in such a way that we have to optimize the utilization of resources, as well as we have to maximize the profit. And also we have to keep in mind that there is less negative impact on environment. I hope this is also through this example it is clear, right? Then we have again agriculture, livestock and poultry integrated farming system model. Here what we have, along with the livestock and crop production, we have poultry as well. Farmer is doing poultry as well. Now here again, the waste product from poultry and livestock can go to the agriculture field, and the agriculture field can provide feed for the livestock, and the straw of agriculture field, that can be used as a bedding for the poultry. The grain from the crop, that can be used for feeding the poultry. So again, they become interrelated and interdependent on each other, and this makes one another integrated farming system model. Clear? I hope with these two example it is clear to you, and there are so many this such type of integrated farming system model that we have. ठीक है? Chalo. Now let's start with the next topic, that is organic farming. Okay, organic farming, I have told you what is organic farming. When we have to when we are growing the crop, keeping the soil alive, okay, we have to keep the soil health in mind, and we cannot afford, we cannot afford nutrient loss from the soil. So that is the meaning of organic farming system. That is how we do organic farming system. So objective here is to produce high nutritional quality food. Obviously, see, if a farmer is using chemicals for managing the pest, obviously that chemical will go inside our food and we will consume that chemical. That can have a negative health impact. But if on the other hand, if a farmer is using organic way to manage this pest, so we will not have that, we will get the fresh quality food. Nutritional quality will also be good of that particular food, and there will be no harmful impact on human health. So next objective is to work with natural system. Obviously, okay, when we apply chemical, our natural system that get disturbed. So in organic farming, we are relying on the natural sources, so that is again integrated with nature, and the system work properly. Okay. Next is maintain and increase soil fertility. So again, we have to maintain and increase the soil fertility, allow satisfaction to agriculture producer. See, the farmer who grow organic produce, okay, obviously he fetch more prices for the produce, and he fetch more prices for the produce, right? So that gives him additional satisfaction. Then use of renewable resources. Okay, we use renewable resources rather than relying on the non-renewable resources. We rely on the renewable resources, and that that helps in what that helps in preserving all the resources of the environment, right? Then avoid pollution. So it also avoids the pollution, because we are working along with the nature. ठीक है? Yes. So that's these are the objective of the organic farming. Okay. Now let's discuss what all we use in this organic farming. So first we go for crop rotation. Okay, so in order to maintain the fertility of soil, in order to manage the pest and disease in the soil, we go for crop rotation. Okay, then no agrochemicals are used. What are agrochemicals? Agrochemicals are chemicals that are used in agriculture. It can be pesticides, it can be fertilizer, it can be insecticide, weedicide, fungicides. Okay, all kind of chemicals that are used, that are prohibited in organic farming. ठीक है? Then no GMOs. देखो, in conventional farming we were using genetically modified organism, but in organic farming it is also prohibited. We cannot go for growing of genetically modified organism. ठीक है? Then no synthetic fertilizers are used. Only organic fertilizers are are used. Then we are not relying more on the non-renewable resources, rather we are relying more on the renewable resources. Then we have to use the local resources, or whatever is locally present with us, whatever resources is present at that point of time, at that time, at that area, we will be using all these local resources for growing of crop. Okay. Now here we, in organic farming, we rely less on high energy. Okay, so what we do, we lower the energy use. Okay, we lower the energy use because we do not rely much on the high energy inputs. Okay, then it reduces soil loss, because we obviously we go for manuring, in adding organic manure more, so that will protect our soil from soil erosion. Then if we are adding organic matter to the soil, it will also increase the soil fauna and flora. Okay, it will increase the microorganism that are residing in the soil. Then soil organic matter is also increased, okay, because we are adding natural thing to the soil. Then water holding capacity. See, whenever organic matter is added to the soil, the water holding capacity of the soil will increase, obviously, due to this organic matter. Okay, then lower water consumption. Okay, we are adding organic matter. So organic matter improves the soil structure, and it hold the soil structure can hold more water for the long duration of time, which reduces our dependency on more water. Okay, so these are the things that we do and do not do in the organic farming. Okay, then we have components of organic farming. So first we have is crop rotation. I have told you we rotate the crop. Okay, we rotate crop in a fixed pattern. Like you can see in the picture, rice is sown in particular season, then this is mustard, then this is a pulse. Crop rotation is followed so that we do not exhaust the soil, as well as all the disease and pest cycle that get breaks up, right? Then we go for composting. Now composting is a process through which we are using all kind of manures, all kind of plant waste, and we decompose it, and this compost is used as a soil conditioner. Means this compost is added to the soil to improve the soil quality. Okay, that is the composting. Then we have manure. Manure is basically when we are using animal waste for a fertilizer, okay, for fertilizer purpose. So again, these animal waste are decomposed and then they are added to the soil for adding the extra nutrient to the soil. Then we also go for waste management. ठीक है. Okay, difference between composting and manure. Manure composting, I told you, in composting we use all kind of plant waste and animal waste. We decompose it and then add to the soil. Okay. Now this compost will add as a soil conditioner, means it will improve improve the quality of soil along with adding nutrient. But when we say only manure, manure only comprises of cow dung or buffalo dung or the poultry litter. So manure is the animal waste which has been decomposed for adding nutrient into the soil. Manure is used for the nutrient purpose. Composting is for nutrient as well as improving the soil structure. Okay, so that's the difference here. Then waste management is also done during organic farming. So whatever waste we have generated, we have to manage that also. Okay, we cannot just remove that waste, or we cannot just let that waste, or we cannot burn the waste, right? So we need to manage these waste. Then we have biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are basically some microorganisms that can add nutrient to the soil. Basically what these microorganisms do, either they fix nutrient to the soil, or either they help in nutrient absorption of the plant. Okay, so when such microorganisms are identified and they are used in the they are used in agriculture, they are called biofertilizer. Bio means something that is living. Okay, we cannot use chemical fertilizers, so rather we go for biofertilizer. The microorganism that help in adding nutrient to the soil, they are biofertilizer, and it can be used in organic farming. Then we have biopesticides. Biopesticides are basically again those microorganisms which can be acted as pesticide. Which can act as pesticide means, if we have a target pest in field, if we have a particular target pest, so we identify the the enemy of that pest. Okay, and that enemy becomes our friend, and that is a biopesticide, and we release that biopesticide in the field, and this biopesticide will kill the our target pest. So these organism, when they are identified and used for killing the pest or disease, these are known as biopesticides. These organisms are known as biopesticides. Okay, then we have is vermicompost. Vermicompost is basically again a composting method, but here with the help of earthworms we are making compost. ठीक है, कंपोस्ट ही बनता है, but with the help of earthworm, we intentionally add earthworm to this compost so that earthworm can digest all the material and it can enhance quality of the compost. ठीक है, so that is a different term used for composting, that is vermicompost, when earthworms are used, and the quality of a vermicompost is good than normal compost. ठीक है, so that's the difference, and all this can be used in organic farming. Okay, so biopesticide and biofertilizers are not same. Biopesticides are the organism which are used to kill any insect or disease. Biofertilizer are the organism which are used to increase the nutrient in the soil. We apply biofertilizer to the soil. Biopesticides can be applied to the soil as well as the foliage of the plant so that it can, kill the target enemy. Okay, so they are not same. Okay, what is crop rotation? I have explained to you. So what is crop rotation? I've explained to you. Here we are rotating crops in a fixed pattern. Okay, we are we are rotating crop in a fixed pattern, like you can see in the picture. After rice we have sown pulse crop and then wheat crop, so this becomes a one crop rotation. Okay, crop rotation, you have to understand, when we are rotating crops in a fixed pattern. Okay. Okay. So then we have is organic manure. What is organic manure? Basically, these is the waste of, these are the plants and animal waste which are the source of nutrient. Okay? Animal manures are again plant and animal waste which can be used as a source of manure. Okay? They release nutrient after they decomposes. Okay? Then we have, I have told you, natural occurring or synthetic chemicals containing plants and plant nutrients are called fertilizers. ठीक है? So देखो, say we have or natural occurring fertilizers and chemical synthetic fertilizers. So chemically, when we have synthetic fertilizers, synthetic chemicals which are used as plant nutrient, they are fertilizers. And if we are using any plant or animal waste that is for a nutrient, that is a manure. ठीक है? Now, next is waste management. I have told you here what we do. You might have heard about biogas plant. So here what we do, we mix all kind of waste. We mix all kind of kitchen waste, plant waste, or the animal waste together and make a slurry inside this plant and then allow it to ferment. Now, after fermentation, few gases are released, among which is a methane is one of them, and it is inflammable. It can be used as a biogas for other purposes. Okay, so this is a waste management that can be done in organic farming. Okay, then we have biofertilizers. Okay, now let me tell you about the biofertilizers here. So basically, again, biofertilizers are the organism that has been identified which can add nutrient to the soil. Okay, which can add nutrient to the soil, which can help in mobilization of nutrient in the soil. These organisms are called biofertilizers. Azotobacter is one of the example. Okay, rhizobium is another example of biofertilizers. I hope this is clear. Then biopesticides are few organisms that are helpful in killing the pest in the field. Okay, we have few we have few pest and diseases that infect our crop. So when we identify some organism and these organism are helpful in killing these pests, that is a biopesticide. Okay, in the name itself the difference is coming. Fertilizer means nutrients, so organism adding nutrient to the soil. Biopesticide means pest, killing the pest, so that kills the pest. So Bacillus thuringiensis is a biopesticides that can be used in the field. Okay, so this is one of the example. Then vermicompost, I have told you, vermicompost is basically composting done with the help of worms, that are earthworms. Okay, they decompose all the material, and with decomposition what they do, they digest all this material and improve the quality of compost. Clear? Now here we have to understand one thing, vermicast. Vermicast is basically, it is the digested or the, you can say, excreta of earthworm. The digested material that comes out of the earthworm, that is the vermicast. Okay? Then we have is vermiprotein. What is vermiprotein? Now, when we do vermicomposting, so number of earthworm increases. Okay, so now when the number of we have means good amount of earthworm, some amount of earthworm can be used as a vermiprotein to feed the poultry, to feed the organism of agriculture. Okay, so that when we use earthworm for feeding the poultry or the fishery, they are called vermiprotein. Okay. Chalo. Next is marketing of organic produce. So students, there is a tag which is given to a farmer. Okay. Before that, just understand, a farmer, if he or she intend to convert his land or her land to organic land, there is a conversion period. There is a conversion period of 3 years. Okay. From this question was asked, so I'm repeating it here. So 3 years of conversion period is required for converting a conventional land into a organic land. ठीक है? So for 3 years farmer do not have to grow anything on the land, or if he is growing he have to grow as per the organic standards. ठीक है? So 3 years of conversion period is required. You have to learn this because question was asked from here. Now FSSAI, that is Food Safety and Standard Regulation, what they have done, they have given this logo for the organic produce. Okay, if you see this logo on any organic product, that means that is a organically made produce. Okay, so that can come under organic produce, and farmer has to earn the certification of this organic produce, because after conversion period, after the land has been converted into the organic land, then only farmers can sell the produce under organic. Okay, before conversion it cannot sell. Right now any farmer just cannot label any product as an organic product. That is not legal. Rather they will have to take a proper certification. Now for certification can be acquired from two way. First is the participatory guarantee system, which comes under agriculture ministry, and then we have is NPOP program, that is national program for organic production, which is implemented by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So these two programs are run for giving the certification to the farmers if they wanted to produce organic produce. Okay, or after that certification they get some tag, and then only under the label of organic they can sell their produce. Okay, chalo. So okay, I'll take 5 minutes and I'll answer all your queries by then. Okay, so now you have, if you have any query, just let me know. You can write on the chat, in the chat box. Okay. Yes, Dhruv, azospirillum is a biofertilizer. Kanika, see crops and forestry difference. So usually crops, see, we have field crops and forest crops. Crops is term used for all kind of all kind of crops that are grown for any kind of production purpose. Okay, so if we have rice field, that is a rice crop. If we have a poplar field, that is a poplar forest crop. Okay, it is a forest crop is when, I have told you yesterday also, when same kind of plant is grown over a piece of land, that is called crop. Okay, so field, we have field crops, we have forest crops. So forestry is basically done in forest. Their perennial crops are done, their perennial trees are grown. In crops we are usually growing for annual biennial crops. Okay, okay, so example of biofertilizers and biopesticides. See, biofertilizer are azospirillum, azotobacter, rhizobium. Okay, and then in biopesticides we have Bacillus thuringiensis, and then we have trichoderma, trichogramma. These are the example of biopesticides. See, Parag, regarding composting, I don't think there can be any question regarding the physical properties of compost. But the thing that you have to learn is that what is a general process of compost, com composting, and meaning of compost. Okay. Okay. So see, basically, Demeter certificate is for the biodynamic. Okay, it's basically a guarantee that you are the product is coming from the biodynamic agriculture. ठीक है? Okay, Ayushi, why 3 years are required to change? See, Ayushi, it is as per the organic standards. Uh, minimum 3 years, farmers should keep the land fallow to convert the organic conventional into organic. Because see, if we have any land under the conventional farming system, so it might be that there is some residue of chemical, there it might be that there is some residue of the pesticides that we have used. So in order to degrade these residues, in order to bring down the all the chemicals that is earlier applied to the field, 3 years is required. Okay. Okay, richer in intensive planting competition increases, which may decrease yield. Okay, so basically intensive planting is done where we want immediate result. We want we are not concerned about the in intensive planting. Also, you might have seen that fertilizer is also added. Okay, so we are adding more and more fertilizer just to get the return. Competition can be there, but to supplement that, we add fertilizer also. Aniket, yes, the score is decent, but I would request you to just, try to learn more about, because agronomy is an important chapter. Try to increase this score. Okay, GMO are basically genetically modified organism. Okay, answered. Okay, Shivani, vermi wash, vermi cast, and vermi protein difference. Wash is basically when the vermi composting happens, the liquid you will see after composting, there is some liquid that is discharged from this compost. That is the vermi wash. Vermi cast is basically, I've told you, the excreta of earthworm after digestion of organic waste. That is vermicast. Then vermi protein, when these earthworms are used for feeding poultry and fisheries. That is the vermi protein. Yes, see, if we say disadvantage of organic farming, see, yes, I totally agree that we cannot just, right now, we cannot just completely rely on organic farming, because again, production is less in case of organic farming. But again, we can try to integrate. Okay, the government is also pushing farmers, or we are trying to come up with the more research and technology so that organic farming can sustain the population. Okay, again regarding agri-silvi-pastoral and agri-silvi-pastoral. See, agri-silvi is basically integrating your agriculture and forestry. Silvi-pastoral is basically integrating forestry along with the pasture management for livestock, and agri-silvi-pastoral agriculture, forestry, and pasture. Okay, both three, all threes are there. See, concept will be sufficient. Just once read the CN ratio part. Ki what is the CN ratio for the compost? Okay, for the nutrient release. Yes, it can help in your mains. Yes, rearing of silkworm is silviculture. Sericulture. It's sericulture, not silviculture. I'm also getting confused. Rearing of silkworm is sericulture, not silvi. Okay. Okay, conversion period, Parag, I've already told you there is a time duration that is need to be followed, that is need to be, you know, taken by the farmer to convert the conventional land into the organic land. Okay, it need to be kept fallow, it need to be kept without any cultivation for 3 years. See, double digging and deep plowing, they all are same concept, but digging, I think we use in the bio-intensive farming, and deep plowing is same, that is generally used. Okay. See, biofertilizers are important. I'll come up with the biofertilizer in the soil and water conservation chapter also. So don't worry about biofertilizer question. Okay. Permaculture is basically, just understand this thing, if we have to create a permanent environment, sustainable environment, so that we are meeting our demand as well as not depriving future generation. ठीक है? So no, regarding who developed which farming system, that is not that much important. But yes, remember that zero budget natural farming was given by Subhas Palekar. Okay, this can be asked. See, permaculture is all about a community. Okay, permaculture is a wide aspect, you can say, an integrated farming system. We are looking just at a farm level. Permaculture is including all the people, population, all the livestock, animals residing in a place, and integrated farming system is talking about just a farm. Okay, thank you so much, Vihar. Chalo, I'll continue the lecture now. Okay. So those who are watching on YouTube, I would like to tell you that PDFs of these two lectures will not be provided on the Telegram. So if you want to just listen, you can just listen here also. Otherwise, you will get the recorded session on the YouTube as well. You can watch that also. ठीक है? चलो. Now I'll take query at the end. ठीक है? अब we have to continue this lecture. Okay. Now let's discuss about the modern farming system. Okay, till now we have discussed about the traditional, conventional, semi-commercial farming system, commercial farming system. So now let's discuss the modern farming system. What is the meaning of modern farming system? Basically, it is the farming system where we are using modern techniques and technology. Okay, now what modern techniques and technology? Here we are basically using all the advanced scientific technology that has been developed in agriculture. So all kind of agriculture practices where all the advanced technology, scientific knowledge has been used to production, for the production of crops, for the production of any produce. So that is under your modern farming system. Okay, now what you have to understand in modern farming system, that we have different type of modern farming system, and you have to understand the meaning of these. Okay, that is more than sufficient to be known, because in the examination they will ask you regarding these terms, like what is hydroponic system, what is aeroponics, what is vertical farming, aquaponics, tissue culture system, or precision farming. Okay, just know the term, thus just know the meaning, what is happening inside these farming system. Chalo. Okay, so first is vertical farming system. Now, as the name suggests, vertical farming, so what we are using here, we are utilizing the vertical space. Okay, vertically we are stacking up our produce, and we are utilizing the vertical space for doing the farming. Now, why we have to utilize the vertical space when we have the horizontal space? So students, the thing is that, because the with the increasing population, the land size is decreasing. Okay, you might have known, you might know about this thing, that as the population is increasing, construction is also increasing. Construction of houses, building, roads is also increasing. With that, pressure on land is coming so much. So what scientists have done, scientists thought ki why not we use the vertical space. Especially this is popular in urban areas where land size is very less, and people still wanted to do farming. So there, vertical space is utilized, vertical stacks are made, and over these stacks we are growing the crop. Now I'll tell you how this is done in the coming slide. But example of vertical farming or types of vertical farming we have is aeroponics, hydroponics, aquaponics. Okay, I'll explain them to you in coming slide. Then we have another form of advanced form of modern farming system, we can say, that is known as precision farming, and then we have a tissue culture system. Okay, now let us understand them one by one. Okay, now I was telling you about the vertical farming. So you can see the picture here. We are utilizing this vertical space, right? We are utilizing this vertical space. And now what we have done, we have made these racks, or we can maybe have made these vertical stacks on which crops is grown. Now you can see on this particular, this amount of land, this production can be achieved. Okay, so this is the meaning of vertical farming system, where we are growing crop in vertical stacked layer. Now, I have told you the different types of vertical farming systems are hydroponics, aquaponics, and aeroponics. Now, let us understand. And one more thing, students, that these vertical farming system is done in a controlled environment. Okay, it cannot be done in an open field, because here what we do, we try to grow crops that is not grown in that particular crop, that is not grown in that particular area. Okay, so what we do, we provide control environment condition. You can see here also, this is not a field, this is a controlled chamber inside which we have provided congenial environment for growing of that particular crop, and then we grow that particular crop and we take out produce from it. ठीक है, so here control environment is needed. So this is the vertical farming system. ठीक है, now you might have seen few places in which vertical pots are kept and we are growing flowers in them, so that is also a form of vertical farming system, but usually it happens in control environment system. ठीक है. Let's understand hydroponic system. So very important to understand here it, what is the hydroponic system. Now in hydroponic system, what we do, we use water as a source of nutrient. Okay, what we do here, basically we dissolve all the nutrient in this water. You can see this is a water tank, right? So we dissolve all the nutrient in this water tank, and when it get dissolved, we supply it to the root of plants. Okay, inside these pot we have plant roots. ठीक है, this is a soilless culture. It is a soil less culture, means we are not using soil for the uptake of nutrient, for the uptake of water, rather we are using water based nutrient solution. Now when we are not using soil, then how these root get support from where these root are supported, right? So rather than soil, we are using other kind of material like coco peat, perlite, vermiculite. ठीक है, very good. These are the things that is used to support the root system. Okay, now inside this pot, when you will see, there is a coco peat, perlite, or vermiculite. Any one of the material can be used, and the root gets support from these material. Soil still is not used, and we are passing this nutrient rich solution from the root of these plants, and these plant root are absorbing nutrient from this solution. Okay, when this water is passed, nutrient rich water is passed, then plant root absorbs nutrient from the solution and then grow. This system is known as a hydroponic system. I think it is easy to understand, right? Next we have is aeroponic system. Now in aeroponic system, देखो, in hydroponic we were providing any kind of support to the roots. In aeroponic system we do not provide any kind of support, rather we let root to hang in the environment. You can see in the picture as well, the roots are hanging in the free environment, right? And also here, neither we are using the nutrient rich medium, rather what we are doing, we are spraying this medium. We are not allowing it to pass through the root, rather we are just spraying the nutrient rich water around the root, and root is absorbing the nutrients and moisture from the surrounding. ठीक है, here, yes, you can see in the picture, these are used to spray the nutrient rich water around the root, and these root will absorb these nutrients from the surrounding. Okay, and that is how these plants grow. So this is the aeroponic systems. Next we have is, again, this is the GIF which I have placed. You can see here, this is the system where these plants are there, then spraying of the nutrient rich medium is done here, and in this mist, from this mist environment, the root will absorb the plant and absorb the nutrient in the water, and then it will grow. So this is the aeroponic system. Okay, now next we have is aquaponic system. Now students, in aquaponic system, what we do, we combine the fish rearing along with the crop cultivation. Okay, so what happens, basically you can see here we have a tank in which we are rearing the fish. Okay, now what will happen, these fishes will excrete out ammonia. Ammonia is basically the end product or the byproduct of fishes. So these fishes will excrete out ammonia in this particular tank. Okay, Now, when this ammonia is excreted out or mixed in this particular water, we need to replenish this water. Obviously, we cannot let fish swim in that dirty water, right? So, what we'll do, we will take out the water from here and we will allow this ammonical rich water to pass through the crop roots. Okay. We will allow the this water to pass through the crop roots, and crop will absorb this ammonia. See, ammonia is nitrogen form, right? And nitrogen is very important nutrient for crops. So we not we do not need to give any kind of fertilizer to this crop. From that water itself, the crops are getting nitrogen. Crops are absorbing this ammonical form of nitrogen, and the water that is again transferred back to the tank. Okay. And this cycle goes on. This is how the water get filtered up and again get added to the fish tank, and then fish get the fresh water again, and again the dirty water that comes out of the tank and goes to the plant absorb the ammonia and comes back to the tank. So this is how the aquaponic system works. ठीक है? So this is how the aquaponic system work. I hope this is also clear to you. Okay. Again, there's a representation you can see here. From here, the water is going to the roots of the crop, and from here, the filtered water or the clean water is coming back to the tank. See, you have to understand the working of these system to understand what are these. ठीक है? तो आपको working पता होगी, then only you will be able to answer the question. ठीक है? They will not be asking you the working, but yeah, you should have the idea that how it works. ठीक है? Then we have a tissue culture. Now, what is the meaning of tissue culture, students? See, it is also known as micropropagation. ठीक है? Another name is micropropagation. This can come, okay, they can give you this term, if not the tissue culture given. So, what is the meaning of micropropagation? Basically, here we are propagating the plant. Basically, this is a propagation method, means we have to multiply one plant, okay, so that we can get good number of plants, and these plants can, grow and give us the produce. So micropropagation, basically it is done in the lab condition. Okay, this is only done in lab condition, because you cannot do micropropagation on field. Here we require proper media, here we require proper lighting, we require proper humidity, temperature for this purpose. Now here, this is a lab technique that is used. In this technique, what we do, we take any part of plant, any part. It can be leaf, it can be stem, it can be either seed, it can be root as well. So any part of plant is taken, and that part is cut into several small pieces. Okay, and each piece is placed in the nutrient media. Nutrient media is basically something, a medium that has been made to support the growing tissue. We have added plant tissue in the media. Okay, now how this tissue will grow, how this tissue will grow into plant, when it will have a source of nutrient. So this nutrient media is the source of nutrient for that growing tissue, and this growing tissue now grows and forms a seedling. It forms a small plant. Okay, and you can see that from one part of a plant we can get n number of small plantlets, and that is why it is known as a micro propagation. Okay, we are propagating from a micro part of a plant. Clear? So I hope this is clear to you. Now, if we want, if we quickly want to propagate anything, like for example, I identified any kind of variety and I saw that this is a very unique variety or a unique crop. So what I did, and I want to multiply it quickly, so that I can get good number of these kind of plants, same kind of plant. So this micro propagation can be used. Okay, I can take it to the laboratory, I can multiply it, I can get hundreds of number of same plants, and I can again distribute it and grow that particular crop. Okay, so it is a quick method done in laboratory. Here we do not need any kind of season, because see, when you go for growing seed, you require a particular kind of season, particular kind of temperature. But in micropropagation, everything is controlled in the lab, so it can be done any time, right? So that is how you propagate the plant. Again, this is a modern farming technique. Okay, naturally it is not found. It required a modern techniques, it required a proper lab condition. Okay, then only it is possible. So this is a type of modern farming system. Okay. So this is a pictorial representation of what I have said. So here we have a plant tissue. This is a media. We have cut this leaves into several parts, place them here, and each part will grow into new plantlet. Clear? I hope this is also clear to you. And you can see in the jar, the whole plant has grown. Okay. And now what we'll do? One more thing. What we'll do? We will place this seedling that has been formed inside this jar in a pot. Okay, in a pot. Now you cannot directly place this seedling that are formed on lab into the open environment. So first we will place them in the nursery. Okay, we will place them in nursery and we will expose them to the open environment for a particular duration of time. Like for say for 1 hour you took this pot to the open environment and then come back, then you place it back to the nursery. For few days you will do this thing, so that why we are doing this, so that the plant get acquainted with the outer environment. The plant can become it can acclimatize to the outer environment, and this process is known as hardening. It was also asked, hardening. Okay, this process is known as hardening, where we are, what we are doing, we are exposing the plant to the external environment condition. Tissue culture is done on media. This is the media. Okay, this media, this is the media on which we place the tissue. Next we have is precision agriculture. Now students, there is another form of agriculture, modern agriculture system or farming system, that is known as precision agriculture system. Now what is the meaning of precision agriculture system? Basically this is again a approach where we are precisely managing the field. Okay, what we do, we what is our usual Ayushi, I hope your query is answered, that it is done on media, not on soil, not water. Okay, it is done on nutrient media. Okay, thank you so much. So now precision agriculture is what? It is a approach where we are precisely managing the field. Now what is our usual trend? Basically we see the field. We see the field, we see that okay, at some part there is some infestation of any insect. Okay, and what farmer do, farmer will take out the pesticide, it will dissolve with the dissolve it with the water and apply the pesticide to the entire field. Okay, now was that necessary? I don't think so, because again we have infestation on a small part, and sometimes this can lead to the unnecessary application of fertilizer, unnecessary application of pesticide, unnecessary application of water, and then it can increase the cost of production. Okay, it can increase the cost of production to the farmer, right? So what if we have any technology in which we can precisely manage the field? Means what if we have a technology where we can identify the problem area precisely and accordingly give the solution? So if this type of approach is used, this is known as precision agriculture. Okay, so here with the help of computer, with the help of softwares, what we do, we analyze the soil condition, we analyze the crop condition, we analyze the field condition. Accordingly we develop some kind of maps, and based on the data that has been collected from the field, we do the interpretation, and accordingly we give a treatment to the field. Okay, so this type of agriculture is known as precision agriculture. Okay, guys, just wait, I'll take your query at the end. Okay, at the end you can ask me the query. Before starting the next chapter, I'll take your query, don't worry. Chalo. So I have talked about this map. So what here we are doing, basically we are collecting the data from the field regarding different things, integrating the data, then we are making some kind of conclusion from that data, and then accordingly we are managing the field. Now how this precision agriculture is possible, that how it is possible that we precisely manage the field, we precisely see that which is the problematic area, and accordingly how we give precision treatment to that particular area. So that is possible with the help of geoinformatics. Okay, so GIS, GPS, and remote sensing are the techniques that are used in precision agriculture. Okay, we also know that if we want to go from one place to another place, what we do? We use GPS. Okay, GPS is a technology. So similarly, in the precision agriculture, GPS is also used to direct the machinery into the field, to direct the drones into the field. Okay, GIS information technology give us the information about the present time, real time information of that field. Okay, what is the problem that is going on into the field at that particular real time? For that, GIS technology is used. Then remote sensing is another technique that is used to analyze, that is used to collect the data. Through remote sensing, what we do, we analyze the whole area, and there are some pattern that forms. If there are some irregular pattern form, so we identified that on these area there is some problem and we need to give some treatment. Okay, so that is how precision agriculture works. Okay, it works with the help of geoinformatics, and we use GIS, GPS, and remote sensing technique for this type of agriculture. Okay, chalo. Now, next topic we have to discuss is crop intensification. So basically, the meaning of crop intensification is growing more number of crops per year. ठीक है, intensification means intensify करना. So we are growing, when we are growing more number of crops per year on a same piece of land, that is called as crop intensification, and we measure it by a term crop intensity. ठीक है, how crop intensity is calculated? We divide the gross cropped area by net sown area into 100, and that gives us the crop intensity, cropping intensity. Clear? So this is the formula of cropping intensity. Just have the idea. Not numerical will not be asked to you. It might be like they can ask you the formula. It is also again a rare chance, but know what is the cropping intensity. What does it mean? What is the formula? Okay. So cropping intensity means raising of number of crops on the same field during one agriculture year. Okay, and in one agriculture year, how many crops we are growing, that is telling us the cropping intensity of that field. ठीक है, formula is simple, gross cropped area upon net sown area into 100. चलो, okay, sorry. Now, system rise intensification is another concept. So just know what is the meaning of SRI. SRI is system rise intensification. Okay, this is a method. This is another method of growing the rice. Okay, it was developed by Henry D. Laurel in Madagascar. Okay, just know in 1983 it was developed by this particular scientist. Okay, so what we do in SRI method, basically here, this technique is quite different than the normal transplanting technique. First, in normal transplanting technique, what we do, we place 2 to 3 plant at a place. Okay, when we are transplanting, we place 2 to 3 seedling at a place, but in SRI we place only one seedling at a place. Okay, spacing that is kept in SRI is more wide than the normal technique, because we assume if the more is the space, the more is less is the competition and more is the production. Okay, then young seedlings are used in SRI. In usual transplanting, we use 20 to 25 days old seedling, but in SRI 10 to 12 days old seedlings are also used. Okay, then wide spacing is kept. The spacing from normal transplanting is kept more. Then intercultivation operations are done here. Then organic fertilizer are given. Okay, alternative drying and wetting. In usual rice cultivation, we provide wetting condition or maximum period of the time. Okay, and in the entire cropping season, maximum time we flood the field, but here we use alternate wetting and drying. Okay, there is no continuous flooding. Okay, so these are the different management techniques in SRI, and it has been proved that SRI has given more yield than the normal transplanting. Okay, that is why this becomes famous, and this is also adopted in Indian agriculture. Okay, just know what is the meaning of SRI and what are the steps of SRI. These are important. Okay, chalo. Next, let's move on to the next topic, that is dryland agriculture. Very important topic. A question can be asked from here. So what is dryland agriculture? Basically, whenever our agriculture is totally dependent on rainfall. Okay, so there are few areas where we do not have plenty of water. So farmer there are totally dependent on rainfall for agriculture, for the moisture requirement. So such type of agriculture, when it is done, it is known as dryland agriculture. Now we have three category of dryland agriculture. First is dry farming. Next is dryland farming. Then we have rain-fed farming. What is देखो, based on amount of rainfall that a particular region is receiving, that a particular farming system is receiving, we have this classification. And it is the very important thing that you have to learn. Okay, you have to learn this data, that if any area is receiving less than 750 of rainfall, that will be dry farming. If it is between 750 to 1150, then that is dryland farming. And if it is more than 1150, then it is rain fed farming. Then it will be called as rain fed farming. Okay. Now if I talk about moisture availability in these regions, so obviously there will be shortage of moisture in the dry farming. Acute shortage will be there. In dryland farming there will be shortage, and in rain fed farming, where rainfall is enough, there will be no moisture scarcity. Enough moisture will be present in the soil, right? Then we have a crop growing season. In dry farming, as there is a less moisture in the soil, so it cannot support a long duration crops. So the duration, crop growing duration here is less than 75 days. In dryland farming, it is 75 to 120 days. In rainfed, it is more than 120 days. Clear? Then we have a growing region where this is found. So basically in arid region, dry farming is done. In semi-arid region, dryland farming is done. And in humid region where rainfall is plenty, there rainfed farming is done. Now in if we see the cropping system, so here usually we go for single cropping. If possible, then we go for intercropping, but usually single cropping is done. Here single or intercropping can be done, and here inter and multiple cropping can be done. Okay, now what is the meaning of multiple cropping, intercropping? I will be discussing that in the chapter 4. Okay, we in this particular session only. Then we have dry spells, means the dry spells in the dry farming are more common, here less frequent. Here in rain-fed area they do not occur because we have enough moisture. Crop failure is also more frequent and less frequent in the dry and dryland farming. Then here in the dry farming, see, wind erosion is the issue. There is no water, so water erosion cannot happen here, but wind erosion is the issue because it can happen that wind can carry the soil from one place to another place. In dryland, wind and water both are the issue, while in rainfed, water erosion is the issue because here we have enough water, right? Here moisture conservation practices are used. In dryland farming, where there is a less moisture, we use moisture conservation practice. And if the moisture is more, then we use drainage practices. Like in vertisols, we need to drain the soil also because soil get clogged with the moisture. And here in rainfed, moisture is sufficient, so proper drainage practice should be there. Now in dryland farming, the problems are inadequate and uneven rainfall, late onset and early cessation of rain. These are the problems related to dryland agriculture, right? Then prolonged dry spells are there, low moisture retention capacity, low fertility of soil, and small land holding in dryland agriculture. Okay, so these are the list of problems. You can just know what are these problems, and accordingly, if question is asked in the descriptive part, you can elaborate these points. Okay, you can elaborate these points, or you can if these points are kept in the options, so you can know that these are the problems with dryland agriculture, and accordingly you can select the right answer. Chalo, let's move ahead with the improved dryland technology. So first we have is crop planning. So we have to plan the crop accordingly. If we have a dryland agriculture, or we have an area where less rainfall is there, so we will go for short duration crop. We will go for crop which are drought resistant, which can resist the drought, condition, and they are high yielding as well. Then we will plan according to the weather. We will see when it is going to rain, and accordingly we will plan the crop. Okay? Then crop substitution should be there, that we should replace the old variety with the more efficient varieties. Then cropping system. Okay, cropping intensity should be increased in these areas so that we can get more produce. Okay, then integrated nutrient management should be there, कि हमें जो भी nutrient है that should be integrated in such a way, and soil fertility is maintained. Then we have to integrate the weed and pest management, okay, and other technology like watershed management, rainwater harvesting. These can be used, or alternate land use can be done in these areas. Okay? So I hope with this your third chapter is complete. And now if you have any query regarding whatever we have discussed, please tell me. Okay, any question? Any question regarding anything? Okay, a lot of questions. ठीक है. Difference between gross cropped area and net crop area. ठीक है. So see, when we say gross cropped area, that means the amount of area that has been sown under any crop for in one agriculture area. Like for example, in Kharif, if you sow 10 hectare of land, you have complete 10 hectare, right? And in Kharif crop, you go for sowing 10 hectare lands. In Rabi, you only go for 5 hectare lands. Okay? Now, in one agriculture year, you have sown two crops, that is wheat, that is rice and wheat, right? In rice, for rice, you utilize all the 10 hectare. For wheat, you utilize 5 hectare. The land is fixed. You have only 10 hectares. But in Rabi season, you only go for sowing 5 hectare of lands. Now, if I will calculate the cropping intensity of your field, then cropping intensity is GCA upon NCA into 100, right? So gross cultivated area here become 10 plus 5. The total area that you have sown in that particular year, that is 15, and net cultivated area is your 10, the actual land that you have, right? So it will be 15 upon 10 into 100, right? So it becomes 150%. The cropping intensity of your field is 150%. I hope this is clear now. Okay, Parag, see, देखो, farmers are present everywhere in the country, and in dryland area also there are farmers and they need to survive, they need to have food, they need to do farming. Okay, they have to have some kind of resource for their family. So that's why people are doing dryland farming. Okay, they are not willingly doing it, but yes, they are dependent on it, that's why they are doing it. Arid means arid is a term given to a land mass where the rainfall is less. Okay, where rainfall is less, dry area. Yes. Hardening. Okay, hardening is basically a process in which what we do, we acclimatize any plant to the extreme environment condition. Okay, acclimatization of a plant is called hardening. So like I've told you, from nursery we will take the plant 2 to 3 take out the plant for 2 to 3 hours, then we will place it back again to the nursery. Next day we will bring out the plant again, and now we will keep it for 3.5 hours and then again bring back to the nursery. This practice we will do for 10 to 15 days, and then after 15 days, when the plant get acclimatized to the external environment condition, we will take out the plant and we will sow the plant into the field, so that now the field condition is not new to it. So the plant has become hardening. This process is called hardening, and the plant has get acclimatized to the environment, right? Okay, agroecological farming. In agroecological farming, we are using natural resources. We are using organic waste and manures. But in natural farming, we do not. We are not allowed to use anything, though it is natural also. That's the difference. See, Richa, in aquaponics, first of all, we are using just water. Okay, there also the plants, they are flooded in the. Okay, you are asking for aquaponics. Huh, the plants are flooded with this ammonical water that is taken from the fish tank. Okay, the chances of pathogen is very less. First of all, here, and next, as I've told you that the water get filtered out, the plant absorb all ammonia, the water become filtered out, the water become fresh, and then again it is drained back to the fish pond. See, Rinki, I have told you dry farming and dryland farming ka difference is the amount of rainfall that a particular area is receiving. See, in dry farming, it is less than 750 mm. Dryland farming, it is between 750 to 1150 mm. That's the difference. OMC, yes, there is a limitation. Most of the plant that can be grown, but there are some specific plant. Okay, there are some specific plant that can be grown in micropropagation. Okay, participatory guarantee system is a approach or is a program you can say through which certification is given to the farmers that they can go for growing organic crops. ठीक है? Manu, it's 3 year. It's 3 year. Okay. Yes, Ayushi, crop rotation can be followed in dryland. No, numerical data you don't have to read, Richa. ठीक है? Yes. In crop diversification, what we do, we replace low yielding crop with the high yielding crop. ठीक है? We replace the varieties. Yes, Richa, this is as per the NABARD exam requirement. In NABARD, core agriculture is not asked. Okay, they are asking you the basic agriculture only. No, no, Darshini, Dhananshri, no agriculture, no activities is carried out for those 3 years on the farm. Yes, Shivani. First is the participatory guarantee system that is under the Ministry of Agriculture, and next is the NPOP. Okay, that is the ministry that is under the Ministry of Commerce. Okay, so I'll start with the lecture now. See, Priya, for particular crop, you don't have to read everything. I would suggest you to just go for learning the scientific name. Okay, that will be sufficient. That will be more than sufficient. No need to go to the to reading of each and every particular crop package and practices. ठीक है? Chalo, let's move on to the cropping pattern. So, what is cropping pattern? Basically, it is the distribution of amount of land under the various crops. Okay, how we are distributing the entire land under various type of crop that we tend to grow over that piece of land. That is the cropping pattern. Clear? So it is a distribution of amount of land that is being farmed for various crop throughout the time. Now, this describes the timing and arrangement of the crop on specific land. So, at what time we are growing these crop, or in which arrangement we are growing these crop, that becomes a cropping pattern of that particular land. ठीक है? चलो, now we have two type of cropping pattern. First is monocropping, next is multiple cropping. Now, what is the meaning of monocropping? As the name itself, it is saying that we are growing only one crop. ठीक है, that is monocropping. Multiple cropping, when we are growing more than one crop, that is multiple cropping. Clear? I hope this is very easy to understand. Next is type of cropping pattern that we have. Let us understand. So first, I have told you monocropping or monoculture, where we are only growing one crop. Okay, multiple cropping when we are growing more than one crop. Now, multiple cropping can be done in two ways: sequential cropping and intercropping. What is the meaning of sequential cropping? Basically, when we are in a sequence, we are growing two or more crop. Like we have grown one crop, then we go for other crop, and then other crop. This forms a sequence. Okay, that is known as, yes, we are forming a kind of sequence, like rice, wheat sequence. We are growing wheat after rice. So this is a one kind of sequence that we are following. So that is sequential cropping. And next we have intercropping. Intercropping is basically at a time we are growing more than one crop at a place. Okay, we are not following any sequence. Rather, at a time within a particular place we are growing more than one crop, and we that is called as intercropping. Now we have different type of intercropping. First is mixed intercropping, strip intercropping, row intercropping, and relay intercropping. Now let us discuss all of these one by one. First is sequential cropping. I've told you sequential cropping, in which we are following any particular sequence and more than two crops is grown in one farming in a piece of land in a farming year. ठीक है? So that is the sequential cropping. Like for example, we have rice, potato, rice, mustard. This is called double sequential cropping when we are growing only two crops. Then we have triple sequential cropping when we have rice, potato, groundnut, three crops. Quadruple when we have four. Okay, short duration rice, then mustard, moong bean, short duration other crop can be grown. Based on that, we have double, triple, and quadruple sequential cropping. Clear? Now, under sequential cropping, we have to learn one more important concept that is known as ratoon cropping. Students, this is very important. It can be asked in your examination. Question has come from here. Okay? So just remember the alternative name of ratoon cropping. It is called as stubble cropping, reharvesting, second crop. Now, what happens here? Basically, we leave a part of a plant in the field itself. Okay, while cutting, while harvesting, what we do? A part of plant is left in the field, and then we irrigate the field, and that part sprouts and give rise to new crop, give rise to new plant. So that type of cropping is known as ratoon cropping. As we are using stubble or the previous plant part for the cropping of for the ratoon cropping, that is why it's also known as stubble cropping. We are again reharvesting from the previous part, that is why it is known as reharvesting, and it is also known as second crop, because from one crop we are getting two crop, right? So it is the second crop that we harvest. That's why it is the name given second crop. Now, when we cut crop, some crop have tendency to re-sprout, and only in these crop ratooning is possible. Clear? I hope this is also clear to you. Next we have is intercropping, where I said that we are not following any sequence, rather at a time we are growing more than two crops. In this, we have first mixed intercropping. In mixed intercropping, what we are doing? We are growing two or more crop on a piece of land without any definite pattern. Okay? No definite pattern is followed. We are growing more than two crop on a piece of land. Then we have row intercropping. Here, in a particular row, you can see two crops are grown, but they are not mixed together. They are grown on a definite rows. So this is the row intercropping. Next is strip intercropping. Strip, basically here we are making a strip of a particular crop. Like we have here we have 6 rows of maize forming one particular strip. We have 6 rows of soybean forming another strip. 6 rows of oats making another form of strip. So in the form of strips, we are growing the crop, multiple crop on a piece of land. That is the strip intercropping. And in strip intercropping, the competition is less. See, when we grow for row intercropping, one crop is here, another crop is here, then another crop is here. So competition can happen between these two crops. But in strip form, chances of competition become less. Next we have is relay intercropping. What is relay intercropping? Basically here, we are growing more than two crops simultaneously during the part of each crop. Like this crop is in the harvesting stage, but before harvesting, before cutting down this crop, we have already grown other crop in between this particular crop, and now see, it is sharing a part of life cycle. These both are sharing a part of life cycle with each other. When such system is followed, that is known as relay intercropping. Okay. Next we have is companion cropping. Now what is companion cropping? Here a secondary plant is planted to increase the return from the plot. Sometimes, like sugarcane is a long duration crop. It can go up to 18 months. So the farmer will have to wait for 18 months to get any kind of return from the field. But what if the farmer can utilize these 18 months and the space in between the sugarcane and grow some short duration crop like your onion, toria, mustard? They can be grown for the short duration of time and can be harvested in between. So from the same piece of land, the return is increased, right? So this type of cropping system is known as companion cropping. Now, what is a cropping system? Basically, when we are following any kind of cropping pattern and it is interacting with the environment. See, there are two terms: cropping pattern, cropping system. Cropping pattern is basically in which pattern we are sowing the crop, okay? In which, at which time and in which arrangement we are sowing the crop, that is the cropping pattern. Cropping system is basically whatever cropping pattern we have followed, how this cropping pattern is interacting with the environment, interacting with the resources or the technology that we have on the farm. ठीक है, that is the cropping system. See, companion cropping and row cropping difference is basically companion cropping. Our aim is to hasten the return from the land. Companion cropping, in companion cropping, what we see that we are growing one crop that is very long duration, and we need some kind of return during that time from the land. So we grow other short duration crop. First, you can grow potato, then you can grow onion, and you can harvest potato, you can get some income. You can harvest onion, you can get some another income. So this is the companion cropping. Row cropping is at a time you are growing same duration crop. Row cropping can be like you are growing radish and carrot at the same time. You will harvest both at the same time. You will get return at the same time. Okay, that is the row cropping. But in companion, you are getting the income at a different time. ठीक है? Now we have different types of cropping system. First is rice based cropping system, where we are using rice as a main crop, and along with rice we are using other crops. Now under this we have mixed varietal cropping rice. Means we can use 2 to 3 varieties of rice. They can be grown together. Why it is done? Because sometimes it can happen that some disease, some insects or some kind of mishappening can happen to the one variety of rice. So for the backup, we mix this variety with other variety. Okay, like if something happened to the early maturing variety, the late maturing variety can overcome the loss of early maturing variety. Okay, so here, to overcome any kind of loss or to overcome any kind of circumstances, we are growing two varieties. So that is known as mixed varietal cropping of rice. Next we have is intercropping of rice with other crop. We can grow other pulse crop along with the rice. Then utera cropping we have discussed yesterday also, that is known as relay cropping. Again, we can grow other crop at the time of harvesting of the rice. Then we have sequential cropping of rice, that is with sequence after rice we can grow other crop. ठीक है? Basically cropping system is formed based on the main crop that we are growing. So here first we have is a rice as a main crop. In the root based, our main crop will be any root crop. That can be radish, that can be carrot, that can be turnip, that can be any root crop that we eat. That can be potato, that can be cassava, that can be any other tuber crop, right? That is the root based cropping system. And if our main crop is grain legumes, along with that we are integrating other crop, that makes the grain legume based cropping system. Now important system that you have to understand is multi-story or multi-level cropping system. Question has been asked from here. You should know what is the meaning here. Okay, so in multi-story or multi-level cropping system, what we do, again we utilize the vertical height. So what we do, we sow the crop of different height. Okay, like here you can see this is the coconut that has been grown, then this is the banana that has been grown, then here we have ginger or turmeric that are short heighted that are grown. So different height of crops when they are growing together, and we are using the vertical height, we are taking the advantage of different height of a different crop, that is known as multi-story or multi-level cropping. Clear? Two or more crop of different height are grown simultaneously on a piece of land. Okay, just understand what is the meaning here. If you cannot remember the examples, that's okay. But here, understand one thing: if you get any example in the question where you find that okay, the height of different these crop mixture are of different height, then you can make a guess also that it is a type of multi-story or multi-level cropping. Clear? Next we have is a lay farming. Now what is lay farming? Can anyone tell me? We have discussed about lay crop yesterday. Chalo, tell me what is lay crop. I have explained this to you yesterday. Meaning of lay crops. Okay. I think it's still not clear to some. So basically, lay crops are for the fodder purposes. It is for the livestock purpose, but it is the mixture of legumes and cereals. Okay, it is the mixture of grasses and legumes, or legumes. It is the mixture. Just understand it is a mixture of grasses and legumes, basically. Okay, it is a mixture of grasses and legumes. So lay farming is basically growing grasses or legumes in rotation with grain or tilled crop. So lay crop are mixture of grasses and legume. What is lay farming? Lay farming is when we are growing grasses or legume in rotation with any grain crop. ठीक है, lay farming क्या हो जाती है जब when we are either growing grasses or legumes or mixture of grasses or legumes together with in rotation with any grain crop or tilled crop. And our purpose here is the soil conservation. Why we are doing so? So that we can conserve the soil. ठीक है, this type of farming system, when it is adopted, it is known as lay farming. ठीक है, I hope this is clear. If there is any issue, there is any problem in understanding this type of farming, just let me know in the comment section. Then advantage kya hai? What we have is okay, tilled crop are basically the crops in which tillage is required. Your maize, like your rice, like your wheat. ठीक है, all your cereals are tilled crop. Then we have advantages: improvement of nitrogen content for subsequent plantation, as we are here using the grasses and legumes. So legumes and grasses have this capacity to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So ultimately it is improving the nitrogen content for the subsequent plantation, right? Restoration of soil and organic matter structure. See, the legumes help in restoration of soil and organic matter in the soil. So again, when we are using lay farming, when we are doing lay farming, it will restore the organic matter content of the soil, right? It will control weeds as well. See, we are using crop rotation. We are not using any monocrop, or we are not just growing for cereals or pulses. We are using crop rotation. We are using cereals, then any grass or grass legume mixture. So with that, what will happen? Any disease cycle or weed cycle that is going into the field, that can be broken down, right? And it can lead to the control of these weeds and pests. Then we have it is preventing deep drainage and erosion. Sometimes in the area where the erosion is problem, these grasses and legumes crop will help holding the soil, so that will hold the soil and it will not allow it to erode. So this again is the advantage. Then okay, then again, improve livestock efficiency. We are having fodder material with us, we are having grasses and legumes with us. So obviously the livestock efficiency will increase. Okay, lay farming is when we are growing grasses and legumes along with our grain crops. Okay, see, what are lay crops? Basically, it is a mixture of grass and legume. When we are growing any grass or legume mixture, or we are growing either grass or legume. Okay, so the purpose here is to feed the livestock. Why we are growing these grasses and legumes? Because our purpose is to feed livestock. Now, when we are using these lay crops along with our normal crops, in rotation, in with rotation with our normal crops, that system is called as lay farming. Okay. Now, purpose of lay farming, why lay farming is done? Here is only just one purpose, that we can store the moisture, we can hold the soil, we can go for soil conservation method. Okay, soil can be conserved, there is no soil erosion, and also we have to maintain the fertility of soil. So that is the meaning of lay farming. Clear? Okay, that was the last slide. Now I have enough time to take your query. So you can one by one ask your query. Okay, I request all the students who are watching in YouTube, if you have any query, you can also ask on in the comment section. Okay, you can pin if other people are irritating, you if you want to see a particular screen, then you can pin it there. Okay. ओके, टिलेज समझाना है. Aniket, I have already shared the PDF of this class. I have before the class I have uploaded it in your course. You can just download it from there. ठीक है? Okay. Okay, climate resilient agriculture. Very good question by Nikki. So, Nikki, see what is climate resilient agriculture? As you can observe that with with changing time, with changing the environment, with changing environment, what is happening? Climate is changing. Okay, and we know agriculture is totally agriculture is majoritarily depending on the climate. Okay, majority of agriculture that we are having, it is totally dependent on the climate. Because we know temperature, rainfall, humidity, precipitation, everything affects your crop production. We have discussed about different factors affecting crop production, right? Now, if the climate will change, uh, obviously the agriculture pattern will also change. So climate resilient agriculture means that how we are changing our agriculture with the changing climate. Okay, with the changing demand, with the changing climate, with the increasing temperature of the earth, with this global warming happening, how we are well prepared with our agriculture. So climate resilient agriculture basically is the idea that we have to be prepared for the changing climate, and accordingly we have to do the agriculture, we have to modify the agriculture. ठीक है. Yes, today's topics are completed. If you have any doubt regarding any topic, just ask, right? Yes, yes. Class is over. Yesterday, someone requested me that please cover the class within the time frame. So I have tried to cover the class. uh, okay. So if there is any after this class, just read, have the just do the revision. If there is any issue regarding any class, any topic today's regarding today's class, you can ask me tomorrow as well. Okay. Okay, explain tillage. So tillage is basically the operation or physical manipulation of soil. What we do in tillage, we tillage is basically primary operation that is done over this land. Okay, we open up the soil. We need to dig the soil. We need to loosen up the soil so that we can sow the seed and the seed can germinate properly. So that is the tillage. Tillage is the physical manipulation of the soil. Okay. Okay, difference between cropping system and farming system. देखो, in cropping system, we are only concerned about the cropping pattern that we are following on the land and its interaction with the resources or in its interaction with the environment. In farming system, not only we are concerned about crop, but we are also concerned about different farm enterprises, which include your livestock, which include your poultry, which include your other type of farm enterprises. ठीक है? So that is the difference between that is the difference between cropping system and farming system. You're welcome, Rinky. Okay, Khushbu, I would say farming system one is important one, and in cropping system, the different type of cropping, cropping pattern is the important. That what is the meaning of mixed cropping, intercropping, relay cropping, then strip cropping, as well as multi-story cropping. Just know these facts. Just know these concepts because question has been asked from here. ठीक है? You're welcome, Aniket. Sanu, see, I would say follow these classes and read the summary sheet. Okay, that will be that will be good. That will compile your good. That will cover your good preparation for the exam. Okay. Yes, relay. See, in relay cropping pattern, you can grow legumes as well. Okay, in along with the rice, lethyrus is relay cropped. Means lethyrus is sown along with the rice before harvesting it, and lethyrus is a pulse. It is a legume. See, the use, Siddhi, dekho, the use of grasses is to feed the livestock, first of all, and second is to conserve the soil. Okay. I have explained, Ashish, that the tillage is the physical manipulation of the soil. When we are manipulating the soil surface, that is the meaning of tillage. Okay. See, Parag, cropping system is all about crops. Okay, we are just concerned about crops. And if in cropping system, if we are, if we are using legume crop, so there is a recycling of nutrient happening. There is a adding of organic matter that is happening there. Aquaponic, Vaishnavi, see, aquaponics is a system where we are integrating the fish cultivation along with the crop production. ठीक है. So what we do, we grow fish in a tank. These fishes excrete out ammonia, that is their byproduct, in the water. This water is taken to the plant root. Plant root absorbed ammonia from this water, and again the water get filtered up by the plant root, and this filtered water is again added to the fish tank. So this is the process of aquaponics. Thank you so much, Meghna, and you're welcome. You're welcome, Ashok. Richa, I would suggest you to go for summary sheet. Okay, concept notes can be lengthy at this point of time. See, Shipra, and everyone who is asking for the PYQ, see, in between the chapters, now in between the chapter, I'm telling you that this has been asked in the previous year. This has been asked in the previous year, and I'm telling on the basis of the PYQs only. Okay, I'll try from tomorrow if I can come up with the few PYQs questions as well. Okay, I'll try. I'm not guaranteeing it, but yes, I'll try, because there is a time constraint. I have to prepare the class and everything, and there is a discussion forum as well. So if I'll get time, I'll surely come up with the PYQs as well. Yes, Ayushi, if you are preparing for this specialist post of agriculture, then yes, you have to go for the core agriculture, especially for your mains. ठीक है? Root-based cropping system is basically where our main crop is a root crop. Okay, and along with that root crop, we are growing other crops. So that is the root-based cropping system. Now, root crops means where we are consuming root of any crop. Take it like your radish, carrot. These are the root crops. Okay, Deepak? Just Kanika have the idea what is the meaning of crop diversification. That's enough. See, Dhananshri, with your 20 marks of GA, only GA question will be there. Okay, ESI current affair and ARD current affair will be separate question in the ARD and ESI section. Vihar, see, regarding fisheries, Diksha ma'am will take your session, and if it is not given in the schedule, so don't worry, she will update it, okay? And every chapter will be covered. Okay. No, Richa, regarding institute, I have already told you, first cover everything, and then if you have time, then you can learn the institute. Sonali, in the course itself, you will see different section. The summary sheet is also provided to you, as well as PYQs are also provided. See, complementary intensive cropping system, intercropping system means here we are intercropping two crops which are complementary to each other. Okay, and it is intensive. It is called intensive because our here aim is to maximize the output. So that is the meaning of complementary intensive intercropping system. Just break the word by word, you will get it by yourself only. You're welcome, Kanika. Okay, this is answered. Okay. See, vertical farming is just general term given when we are doing farming in stacks. Okay. Now, in vertical farming, you can use soil, you can use water, but different types of vertical farming. We have seen hydroponics where we are not using soil. Again, aquaponics not using soil, and in the aeroponics also we are not using soil. But yes, in general vertical farming, you can use the soil as a supporting system. Okay, difference between mixed system and mixed farming. Mixed system and mixed farming are almost similar terms. Okay, mixed system you can consider where we are mixing more than two type of crop, and farming consists of integrating crop more than two type of crop along with the livestock and other things. ठीक है? Open pollinated seeds are basically where open pollination happens. Means the pollination is Basically, open pollination. Just understand it this way: the flower is open and the pollination is happening for the seed production. So that is the open pollinated seeds. Yes, for current affair, Ashish, I would request you to just once go through the PYQs, as well as the Devanshu sir will take your session. In the second half, you will have the current affair session. You can ask him. He will be a better one to guide you. Okay? Yes, Dhananshri, if you have a crunch of time, you can just first go for important chapters. Pinky, if you are not able to score well in the mock test, I would request you to just analyze that which subject is which is the subject. What are the subjects in which you are facing the issue, and accordingly plan your strategy. Okay, if it is ARD, then go for important chapters of ARD first. If it is a current affair, then you have to work on your scheme part, and same for the other topic as well. See, monocropping is when we are sowing one crop at a time. That is monocropping for season after season. Monoculture is if for 5 year or 3 years you are just growing rice or any one crop. That is monoculture. You are adopting a monoculture system. Monocropping means sowing one crop at a time. Difference, there is no difference between subs means there is a slight difference or the purpose. Okay, the difference is basically in the purpose. In the subsoiling, we have to break the hard pan. In double digging again, we are breaking the hard pan. We are digging to a greater depth. Okay, deep plowing is again the same thing. The purpose is different. Okay, you're welcome, Siddhi. Thank you so much, Sam. Okay, so that's all for this today's class. I think I have answered all the queries. No, no. Now I'll take query from the YouTube. So so info inquiry, I'll be not taking the course. I'll be not taking the entire course on YouTube. Okay, this is the last class of YouTube. Thank you so much, Parag. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi, and you're welcome. So I think with this, I have completed the session. And before leaving the session, I wanted to thank Deepak, Aniket, and Nikki for sending the feedback. It was really motivating, and I really appreciate it. Okay, and I also request others also to please send the feedback regarding today's class as well. And the mail ID I'll be sharing with you all in the chat section. Okay, and the mail ID is hello@edutap.co.in. So I know you all are busy, but still, if you can just take out minute or two for writing our feedback, that will be very helpful for me. Okay, so thank you so much for all those who have sent the feedback, and I request all of you to please send if you can. So that was all for this class. I hope all the doubts are cleared, right? ओके पराग, स्पेशलाइज्ड फार्मिंग इंटीग्रेटेड से कैसे अलग है? तो देखो, स्पेशलाइज्ड फार्मिंग में आई हैव टोल्ड यू दैट फार्मर गेट स्पेशलाइज्ड इन एनी वन ऑफ द क्रॉप, either it is any any one kind of enterprise give more than 50% of income to the farmer because he has specialized in it. In integrated, we are mixing all of the enterprises. Okay, it's not like that more than 50% of income is coming from only one enterprise. That's the difference. Okay, you're welcome, Ashish. So thank you so much everyone for joining, and I'll come tomorrow again at the same time, and we'll cover the next two chapters. Okay. So I hope this class was beneficial. Just let me know if there is anything that is left. Read the summary sheet or the PDF. If you find any difficulty, if there is any question, you can ask me again tomorrow. Okay, I'll answer your query. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. So that's all. I'll take your leave now. Okay, okay. Yes, Vihar, you have to say something. Okay, Vihar, is there any doubt?